Welcome back to another episode of Action Toon Bros.
Oh.
I have no clue what the episode number is, but I'm sure you've already read it on the YouTuber.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's going to be on the episode name or...
Yeah. Hey, who's this talking?
Who, am I talking?
Yeah, I'm Matthew Lewis. I don't know who's talking or replying to me.
Well, that's Ben Sturgeon, but here's the big question. Who are these other two people with us?
What the... my goodness.
You're in our fucking apartment. What the hell do you expect?
Who are you?
Well, we just showed up in these people's random apartment and set up a podcast to record, so what are you guys doing here?
Pressing past, I suppose.
Yeah, who?
Man.
I know.
This is pretty
I want my mommy.
Oh no!
It's going to be a very silly episode today.
Why did you guys take me from my mom?
Hey! You don't steal children!
Well, too bad. We're in their apartment, we have a podcast set up, so they're going to join us today. So.
Fuck you, children.
Don't get it.
I'm not going to edit show. Oh, yeah, sure. I'll say I'll edit as usual. Yeah, I'll definitely edit that out. Well, who do we have? We have Tara and Kaylee joining us once again for She-Ra and the Princesses of Power. What's up, you guys?
Yeah, the gay ones.
Yeah, our professional gay friends. So, joining us once again. What's up, Tara, Kaylee? What are you up to?
Oh, I got up at 6 and I have conducted 3 interviews for the magazine I work for. So when you guys were like, let's do speech warm-ups, I've been talking all morning. It's fine.
Oh, yeah, you're good.
Absolutely. How about you, Kaylee?
I've been going down memory lane and watching FNAF videos.
Nice.
Good.
Mainly the newest one of Security Breach.
I still haven't watched the full thing of that yet.
Oh, you'll love it.
I watched this guy called Super Horror Bros, and he does like breakdowns of all the characters and like the plot and whatnot. So he did, he's doing a whole series revolved around it. And so far I've watched like character breakdowns of it, the plot breakdown, and the possible endings you can get. There's like 6 possible endings
Something
you can
like
get
that,
so far. And then he also does like breakdowns of the main characters. Mm-hmm. So he's done ones about Freddy, Foxy, Chica, Bonnie. And then he also talks about why Bonnie is seen in Security Breach, but not actually seen in Security Breach.
I gotta catch up on those
While
videos.
he's seen, not heard.
Yeah,
there's a whole like section in the game based around Bonnie. It's Bonnie's bowling.
Right, yeah.
It's a bowling alley.
Yeah.
And yet Monty the Alligator has that.
I'm going to spoil it.
Oh, no.
Yo, spoilers!
Spoilers! If you find security logs, you find out that Bonnie was kind of acting on his own. So he would leave his section and wander around the whole pizzeria by himself. So he was documented going from like the bowling alley to another section, and then going into Monty's area, which is a golf area, where he all of a sudden just disappears.
Gee, I wonder why.
And then because when they eventually do find him, his body and every part in him is so bad that they couldn't bring him back, so they had to decommission him completely. And then they gave Monty that role as the bassist.
Oh.
So Bonnie was supposed to be there, but because of a certain someone.
Let's say eventually I'll catch up. Well, yeah, we covered
because of someone.
Well, guys, speaking of which, just bringing it back to plugging our other series. We had a batch of episodes. We did the Banana Splits movie, the Hug, and then what was the other one? Wally's Wonderland with Nick Cage. We covered it, and we extensively talked about all the Five Nights at Freddy's games, the series, because all those movies are loosely based on the concept of all the failed scripts of that movie that's been in development hell for the past 10 years. But just to plug out the shows, check if you want more Five Nights at Freddy's. I'm sure Kay will do a podcast about it someday.
I mean,
actually, you could join Theoretical Others podcast about games.
I love Five Nights at Freddy's. I like the whole concept of it. I love the whole fact that there's just this one fucking man that's like, you know what? I'm not staying dead. Fuck you guys.
Yeah.
I will come back just because I fucking hate all of you.
Nice.
I always come back.
And kill your children.
Yeah.
Murder your children.
That's what you come for the She-Ra podcast episode because of our
Five
Nights at Freddy's takes.
What do you think of us so far?
Our Five Nights at Freddy's takes.
Oh. Did you hear that because of the plunge in stocks for Netflix, they're closing their animation department?
I heard.
Yeah,
I was worried for a little bit about the absolutely amazing, we'll cover it soon series Arcane, but fortunately Tencent, who owns League, bought Fortiche, the company that did that series, so they're safe at least.
Okay, that's good.
But
I only care about that one.
Well, well, if She-Ra wasn't, it had an amazingly good, appropriate, perfectly fine ending. But in their whole the He-Man series, multiple series debacle that they're doing now, I'm not even going to talk about. But I have no idea what Netflix Animation's even up to. Actually, no. Well, Castlevania wrapped up. Fine.
Yeah, I was going to say Castlevania's already wrapped up, so I'm fine with that.
The only other series I was checking out because of a friend, someone from work's recommendation was Super Crooks, which was very good.
Okay.
Yeah. But, that's Netflix Animation. What are you going to do? They're terrible and very incompetent, and they're making the system worse every day.
See, I thought She-Ra was also done by DreamWorks.
It is DreamWorks, yeah, which is owned by Universal, I believe.
I don't know. I just know DreamWorks.
I remember I saw, like I said before, I saw like a She-Ra thing at Universal Studios.
Which is good, which means, the only thing that's
I think
they're
Universal
losing
Studios
is
will often incorporate anything that's just not Disney too.
Yeah.
So like they haven't it's cinema theme park that's not specifically Disney.
Yeah, a lot of WB stuff there.
Disney has its own place. It has Disney World and Disneyland.
Oh God, I love it.
Oh no, I'm
They're
not
so
telling
good.
them I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying.
I think is Universal owned by WB?
No, I think they're separate.
Yeah,
There's a lot of WB stuff.
They're
at the Universal
distributors.
thing.
They're big companies.
I thought WB was Six Flags. If we're gonna go theme parks.
A lot of the
Are the
stuff
Six
in
Flags
Six
even around
Flags
anymore?
I don't know.
I haven't seen Six Flags in like 20 years.
Well, we are getting off topic.
Well, that's the tangent of this podcast because also this episode is a very special episode because we're wrapping up all of season 2 into one episode, so it's going to be entirely tangent-filled the entire time.
Yeah, because for all of those who actually watched She-Ra, it's only 7 episodes long.
Yeah, and you can pretty much tell that Netflix, as badly managed as they are now, were not like pretty much the exact same back in the day when She-Ra was actually airing, that they ended up splitting this season in half to make 2 and 3. Because season 3 is only 6 episodes.
Wait, seriously?
Yeah.
But
that's the series gets better and better every single season.
Well,
I do really appreciate this season. General thoughts, Tara, Kaylee, Ben, on this season before we go into too much detail. What did you guys think of it compared to season 1 and everything else?
You were right when you described it to me. You were like, it's not very plot heavy, but there's a lot of backstories, a lot of character developments and all that stuff. And yeah, I can see where you're coming from with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think the character moments are necessary to be able to move on to the plot stuff that happens later.
Oh,
absolutely. Yeah.
Which we won't specifically bring up because that's not for season 2, but I do think this was necessary. It wasn't like there's
some very specific character interactions that do frame a lot of stuff, but also we gushed about all season. We're sweating out an acid here. All season all last season we were talking about how every single character in this goddamn series is so likable and well written and multi-dimensional that there's not a single character that I'm whatever, who cares about, because they're all so good, and this season especially does expound on a couple of people's relationships, and it is God, the show is just so goddamn well written and so well done. I love it to death. But did you want to get into the first episode?
I mean that's the whole point of this podcast, isn't it?
Absolutely.
So yeah, let's get into episode 1 of season 2, The Frozen Forest.
I barely have notes for these episodes, but because I just sitting there enjoying them too much. But it does open with the Horde attacking the forest that was partially frozen over. Or was it?
It was the Whispering Wood. Yeah,
it was partially destroyed and it's regrowing.
It was partially destroyed, partially frozen over, literally. And just a whole bunch of Horde robots are attacking, and the heroes, the princesses of power,
the Princess Alliance. Princess Alliance finally back in action. Everyone's just kicking butt, doing their own thing. Specifically, I guess they de facto put Glimmer in charge because we don't see Adora here.
Yeah, right. For some reason, she's not there, but everyone's doing their thing. Fighting as they always do.
Yeah, doing all the special stuff. But then we also see Frosta has taken a real liking to Glimmer, and I was watching a review on the other side saying that she's literally acting like season 1 Glimmer, just being an annoying hang along to Glimmer.
Yeah,
Frosta, which
really,
is
she
a
really
huge term for
she?
the character. We find out later why, but it's just she's over there getting in Glimmer's way when Glimmer's trying to give people orders and stuff like that. And Bo's just trying to be hey man, we need to try to catch one of these bots because they're very important and we need to figure out what's going on.
Yeah, and no one's actually listening to him, just constantly destroying them. And then it actually does cut to Adora actually fighting with the Sword of Power.
Yeah.
And we see everyone's favorite character, Catra.
Yeah.
Just, hey, Adora.
Nice.
Always. And
she actually, like, kicks Adora's butt really badly.
And then Adora actually gets her into a position where she could do a final look
finally
and doesn't.
Yeah.
And then the simulation ends.
That's what the simulation dissolves. And it's like, well, you failed again. You get to destroy Catra. Also, I was thinking, like, actually thinking about Catra compared to She-Ra and Adora, Catra does hold her own against She-Ra. Like,
absolutely.
More often than not. And I'm just like, what is she? But I remember the first episode, she was more capable than Adora was.
Yeah, by far.
The very first scene in the first episode where, like, Adora is fighting the bot and almost falls down a pit, and, like, Catra just pops up, destroys the bot, and is like, hey, Adora, and then saves her. It's like, oh, yeah, Catra is really way more capable than Adora is. It's weird.
It's just she intentionally... I don't know when this is real, but it's like she intentionally, like, sometimes slacks off. Because she's just like, why should I bother?
Yeah, in the first episode when she's made Force Captain and Adora's like, I thought you didn't care about that kind of stuff. She's like, of course I do. Like, she was just pretending to not care, but she really did really care.
Tsundere.
Yeah, well, I mean, really, that's like that's literally Catra's last name is Tsundere.
But speaking of great characters and being somewhat adorable, Light Hope. Trying to comfort Adora, like doing the head pat things going through, and just Catra knows how to press my buttons. I understand. I too have buttons. Light Hope.
Oh god.
What happens after that, Matt?
Let's see. It keeps cutting back and forth between the Horde and Entrapta, showing them like, hey, I'm developing some new bots. I call them Emily's Kid Sisters.
Yes, Emily's Kid Sisters.
The EKSs. They're these new weird like flat half bots, and then they go and start destroying everything.
Right, but what's so special about Emily's Kid Sisters?
That they actually have a little bit of First One's tech inside of them, and they are much smarter than the regular bots. Meanwhile, in what the heck is the name of the city? Not Bright Hope.
Bright Moon.
Bright Moon. Okay.
You were getting Light Hope and Bright Moon.
I know.
Mixed up.
Bright Moon.
All these sparkle names.
I know they're so beautiful. That's the original. I love how they say.
Oh yeah, I love that they just kept that. And they were like, okay, we're gonna keep these Barbie-ified names. But then we're gonna make a really cool
right.
At the end of the season, there's two characters that like have like very normal names. Like everyone's so sillily named, it really sticks out.
Really.
But yeah, not to spend too much time on the first episode.
This is Brian and this is Luke.
Yeah, no, literally, yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Tom, Ned.
Excuse me?
Next to Spinnerella and Swiftwind and everybody. Speaking of those two, we find out that Bo is like, we need to capture one of these bots. You guys need it back like when he's just telling everybody. Frosta continues to jump all over, in front of Glimmer's face and being annoying.
But most importantly, Swiftwind wants a chair at the council.
Yeah, and they're like,
my god,
the horse wants a chair.
We don't know how we're gonna do
that. But they're talking about, Natasa and Spinnerella, they've been doing great with this area, and everyone's like, oh, we can do a whole bunch of things, and then Bo's just like, no, we need to capture one of these things because they keep coming. The only person who's just like, either A, not thinking of himself, or B, not having any issues that are probably going to be resolved at the end of this episode or something. But yeah, he's just like, no, we need to capture one of these things. He's on task,
yeah.
Yeah, there you go, on task.
Yeah, as usual, he's the Sokka of the group, just being the smart one. Because I'm pretty sure he's the smartest character in this team.
Yeah.
Easily.
On Team Best Friend Squad and / Princess Alliance, he's like the smartest person, I think, so.
He really is.
Mostly compared to...
I mean, Adora does have a lot of background.
Yeah, battle-wise, she's the most competent.
Yeah, she's more...
if she probably was there, she'd be like, we need to figure out where these are coming from.
Yeah.
But she also gets tunnel vision.
Because literally, this episode, she's just like, well, we need to worry about Catra. And it's just like, that's going to be a theme throughout the entire season.
No, we don't. We don't need to worry about that.
Yeah. But then they finally, this time, Adora does join them. They have another row with the bots.
The EKSs.
Yeah, they're actually getting their asses kicked by them. And they seem to be incapable of catching them because they self-destruct once they are, like, detained even slightly. Mm-hmm. But then they finally, Frosta finally has a chat with Glimmer. They work out their issues, and she realizes that, hey, I've never had friends before, and that's why I'm being so weird about it. And she's like, don't worry.
Yeah, Glimmer's like, don't worry, I was there one time, child.
Yeah, exactly. But then they finally manage to partially destroy one, and Bo manages to subdue it. They pull out and they see that it has First One tech, and he's like, there's only one person who knows how to do this, Entrapta. And she's supposed to be dead.
Wait, what?
And also the whole time, Entrapta and Scorpia, who we didn't even mention is just popping up being cute in this episode, and Catra are literally like sitting on a couch watching the battle footage, going over like, oh man, this is so crazy. I'm just eating popcorn.
All three of them just like, ooh, ouch.
And then, the Catra's one blowing up the Batu as soon as they're subdued because she's just, Catra.
Oh, yeah, because Catra.
And she's just like, oh, what a failure. And then Emily's, the robot. But no, and Trapto, once again, she's like, a failure? There's no failure in science. We got tons and tons of data on them. This is great.
Her optimism, man.
And Trapto's so fucking... Everyone's wonderful.
Very artificer. If at first you don't succeed, let's blow up a few more times just to see if it'll work.
Yeah.
But then, meanwhile, as all that was all happening, as they capture the bot and everything, Catra visits Shadow Weaver, who is now imprisoned in one of Hordak's weird cell things.
Yeah, the weird prison cells.
And of course, she's just like, nah, Hordak, trust me, pretty much.
And then she's like, oh, does he? Sure he does. Anyway, you suck, Catra. And she's like, no, shut up, I don't need your approval.
Pretty much.
And then runs out of the prison cell saying, screw you, Shadow Weaver.
Yeah.
And I think that's where the
episode wraps. Yeah, I
don't need your love. You're not my mother.
Yeah, like the toughest,
yes, I am.
sassy person ever gets like one like bad line from Shadow Weaver and like runs up like, oh, shut up. Just like no trauma there. He knows.
No,
none at all. But yeah, this episode was very a fun little action episode, and also finally reveals to the main team that Entrapped is alive, which is going to be a plot point later in the next episode. But I was going to say,
spoiler alert.
Yeah. Just starting off, besides She-Ra, who's everyone's favorite princess in the Princess Alliance?
Oh, I have two.
Well, number one, the most favorite, and I'm also going to be an asshole and say least favorite too.
Fine. If we're going to go favorite, it's definitely Entrapped still. To those of you listening
currently,
from season 1.
she's not in the princess.
Yeah, she's on the horde. She's on the evil campaign.
She's a princess.
The Alliance.
Oh wow! Now we're getting super specific.
Oh yeah, I also said no.
So we're talking about in the actual alliance
of the main actual specifically.
Definitely Frosta, because I like. At first, I liked her because she was very like whatever. Ice cold,
ice tough, yeah.
Yeah, ice tough, yeah. But now she's like ice tough, but like was all happy and stuff.
Yeah,
she would be my favorite because she's literally you guys in a campaign. Hey, you know what we should do? We should just beat the shit out of it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
What's you guys' favorites?
I'll
have to frame it because, like, once again, you guys have full scope of the whole series, but, like, as of right now, what we know.
I don't know. I think Natasha goes really underappreciated.
I know, yeah.
That is fair, yeah.
She's one of my favorites later on.
She's like kind of on task, but she's also kind of resigned to the fact that everybody around her is a bunch of idiots. And it's kind of fun. It's like where everybody else is like a teenager, she's like a young adult, and she's like, oh my god.
Yeah, I really had to refrain from like spoiling later in the series when Natasha just like you actually get to see her character and it's awesome.
Yeah, enough of that. I have not seen this show.
Oh, yeah, I know it's so tough, but Kay, what's your favorite princess?
Seahawk.
Oh yeah, exactly.
That's princess.
I know. Number one. Oh god. Every time I see Seahawk now, I think of that terrible episode of Star Wars Visions with Jordan Fisher.
Which one's that?
Jordan Fisher is the voice actor for Seahawk, but also he was in that really bad episode with the two. It's one of the boring ones near the end.
The Trigger?
The second Trigger one, yeah.
Yeah, the second Trigger one. That's all you have to say. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
The most subdued, boring character, boring acting ever, but he's like Seahawk, and he's
awesome.
Why
do you keep segueing to different episodes? We have to focus on this episode.
Well, too bad. My favorite princess, as of right now, probably... we didn't mention like Mermista, probably, because she's...
Well, Mermista and Perfuma were there, but they did what they did.
Their whole plot was just, like, Mermista just being really shitty to Perfuma. Which is really funny to me.
Which was frustrating for me, because it's like, no.
Yeah, I know. Perfuma's like the most nicest one ever, but like, yeah, Mermista's just such a like toxic chill girl. It's great. So,
just your type.
I know that's my whole personality.
I mean, yeah.
She basically is like that girl that's like, your parents don't even buy you that in like name brand.
Yeah,
pretty much.
So
no, I actually make it myself. Tragic. And you're just
she's
like,
so good.
okay.
What's your favorite now, Matt?
Mermista, probably. And that's from this episode alone.
Gee, what a shocker.
She's so funny. She's great.
She is. Like, the fact that she has, like, that, whatever.
Yeah, she's so
constantly, good. And just, I love the contrast. But you said there was a second question, and I guess I'll ask it.
Oh, yeah.
Who's your least favorite in the Princess Alliance?
It's tough, but probably Perfuma. Which is probably why I like Mermista.
Wow, you just stood up for her, now you're like, yeah, she's not
She's the nicest. She's definitely the nicest and kindest of the whole group, and the most caring, and the most, like we said last season, the most on task. of anybody in the Princess Alliance. Like she's given an order, she does it very well and executes it perfectly. When like everyone else is like fucking around and being an idiot. So she's
which is Matt's kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, true. I have to think about.
Yeah, I love fucking around and being an idiot, so I hate plans. So I
have to actually think about this. Get the other two.
Don't make me bring out my big aloe vera plant.
I know, please don't. Least favorite princess of this part? Not somebody you actually don't like, but just
see, it's different.
like I said, of all these amazingly written, fun, great characters, the one at the bottom of your list.
It's so tough, really.
It's a mean question, that's why I said, yeah.
That just...
It's tough, but yeah, you have to...
It's so tough. I mean, I did just admit that I personally was frustrated with Burmista, but that's probably because, like, there were times where, like, it reminded me a little of my own sister, who could be passive-aggressive as all get out, and it was just like, flames on the side of my face! So, it's not that, but, it's not that I hate the character, and obviously she's well-written, but the frustration that it can bring up, for me specifically, can be very real.
Yeah, exactly.
As one of 6 children. No, 7.
See, whatever. It's one of those where I don't want to say any of them because they're not like
I said.
But in this case, least favorite does not mean like worst character.
You have to reassure. We all like every single character in the show. They're all fantastic. But of your like top list, who's at the
unfortunately, I would have to agree with you with Perfuma. Only because they really don't have her out there on her own. I mean, they do every once in a while, but not as much as all of the other ones.
Yeah. So she's on task and she's doing what she needs to do, which means that she's not being like eccentric and weird.
She's not using her full potential kind of thing. Yeah. I mean, I know people could say like, what about like Natasha and Spinnerella? I'm like. But they're kind of very underplayed. They never had really much until like the end of season 1 that we talked about. Yeah, and you kind of have to appreciate them. And like, you know, I don't know. It's weird, but Kaylee, who's your least favorite / you know, of this group of how'd you say it? Very well written and fun characters.
Yeah, they're all great.
I would have to say Mermista, just because. She does start shit a lot.
Yeah, she's the meanest person in the whole alliance.
She's really mean for no reason. Like, she is legitimately just rude for no reason. And you're like, could you tone it down?
Yeah, we're all a team. Like
10 steps. Because let's be honest, if we threw you out there by yourself, you'd be fucked.
Yeah, exactly. It's an alliance. We all work together. She's the most like, she's probably the most negatively aligned person of the party, of this D&D party.
Which is like fun. Which is funny because I'm like, I'm also kind of like her, but I also don't go out of my way to
You won't start it, but you'll finish it.
Yeah.
Whereas
I don't
start it.
Marissa starts it, and then she gets pissed that she can't end it because then someone else is like, could you not? Or it's mainly Seahawk that's like, could you not?
Yeah, also, that's why she's my favorite, because she brings in Seahawk as well.
Because Seahawk is like, could you just like tone it down just a little bit?
But we also know that he's his own princess, so it's fine.
Literally, yeah.
He really is.
Seahawk is fucking amazing.
His mustache.
Nobody wears the mustache like Seahawk.
When we get to this episode, we'll be gushing about Seahawk all afternoon.
Oh, of course we would.
Well, yeah, I was just going to say, this is supposed to be one episode. We're already like at a normal like recording length already. It's going to be super long.
But yeah, you're right. 2? Let's go to episode 2 of season 2.
Was kind of.
You stepped on our whole gimmick.
Oh no, I was just.
Oh, you're fine. Don't worry.
I was just gonna say that I also was kind of ranking like the princesses for this whole season in a way. When I said who my favorite was and who my least favorite was.
See, that's exactly what I was doing when I said entrap them. But no, it had to be the good guys.
Only the good team. Like we said originally, this whole series is literally an evil campaign and a good campaign. Going along the like different plots, but like against each other occasionally, and they're all so it's
because that whole they have to be the good guys. You literally knocked down my 1 and 2.
Well, dude, seriously, like who are you telling? I love everybody. Like I'm like the regular top 10 or whatever. Like literally, just the Horde is the top like 5. So don't worry.
you know that is
takes up a good chunk.
Yeah,
the Horde. First 5 is
the Horde, and then Power Gap everybody else.
Double Trouble than everyone else.
Oh yeah, Double Trouble. Well, that counts for the Horde. They count for the Horde.
Who's that? I don't know who that is.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Don't mention that character.
I know we're gushing already. We're talking about this. The next episode, I don't know, is one of my favorite of this whole season.
Sorry, Double Trouble.
No. yeah, that was mainly for him, not for you. So it's all good.
Yeah, well, I really can't wait to get to
and
trouble.
also here came Kaylee's sarcasm.
Sorry.
Very unmermisive.
With nice. Season 2, episode 2, the ties that bind.
That bond. I love bond.
Bind.
I'm stupid.
Your own
in fact,
I know. I fucked it up. We get through
I was
episode
gonna say,
2.
in fact, there isn't even a thought.
Is that
Anyway.
done, really? I thought it was the ties that bond.
We don't care. The title we've
No,
already
we'll
said
never
it.
get
Let's
this right.
go.
We gotta do it one more time.
Okay. Fine. Okay, wait, right here. See?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Ties.
Episode. So you guys do the whole damn thing.
Anyway, starting with this episode.
Sorry, listeners, but Ben's making.
If you guys kill my fiance.
Guys over here listening.
Yeah, so we get Adora starting more training.
Oh, you didn't want to do the whole gimmick?
Yeah, I know.
That was on Matt.
We can't do the whole podcast now. Cancel the podcast.
Yep.
Sorry for episode 1.
Good night, everybody.
Go back, episode 1. Frozen Forest. No. No.
But yeah, we start off with Adora.
Yeah, training
still. Some more, and does an attack, and Light Hope's like, it's not a bad attack, but what if we brought your horse in?
Swiftwind.
Thank you.
Just popping his head through the hologram of Light Hope.
Hey
like,
there!
Hey, I'm here too.
Which is great, because after he does that and has his entrance, Light Hope's just like, yes, and that literally freezes, and it's just like, Did I break her?
Yeah.
Oh no,
sorry.
did I break her with my magnificence?
God, Swiftwind. But yeah, they go more. They decide that they need to work together, and their sacred bond together will enhance their powers.
Yep, and of course Adora's just like,
Yeah, but this is when we cut to my favorite plot of probably the entirety of season 2 almost. We see Bo and Glimmer say that since Entrapta is alive, she's probably being held by the Horde. We need to rescue her from the Catra and the gang.
Yeah, like Glimmer's just like, this is crazy, but you're right. You're right. We need to save her. Wait, don't we need Adora? No, she's training. Yeah. What about the other prince? No, it's just us.
We gotta screw this up.
I mean, yeah.
Because you see Catra just chilling out on the mission saying, this sucks, this is boring, and then Best Girl Scorpia chimes in like, hey, what's going on, Catra? What are you guys doing? And just like, oh, just chill. Like, I don't know where you are. I'm running around here with freaking Lonnie and Rogelio, and I don't know what's going on.
Okay. Scorpio?
Yeah.
Look at your little pad. See that red flashing dot?
Yeah. That's
me. Head to that, please. Oh yeah, by the way, where are they? They're in Drill.
Yeah, they're in Drill.
Entrapta's
Kingdom. They're taking her stuff out because they're moving her stuff for her. But like the gang doesn't know. They're like, oh my god, they're taking over Drill.
Yeah, they're taking over Drill. Oh no, they might be torturing Entrapta.
Yeah, speaking of which, this is when good old Catra pulls up a little like Skype call with. She left Kyle in charge of Entrapta, which is just a terrible idea.
Oh, to be fair, first off, yes, for Kyle indeed. Secondly, leaving anyone with Entrapta is a bad idea.
Yeah,
really.
Entrapta's just losing her mind, making robots out of just beating the shit out of Kyle, and so she just say whatever. Of course, they hear that Bo and Glimmer overhear the call, and it just sounds like Entrapta's being tortured. She's just like, no, what are you doing?
No, what are you doing? In reality, like we the viewers know that she's actually stopping one of her robots.
Just goofing off with her bots.
But all they hear is like, stop, It's like, oh no.
No, they're torturing Entrapta. We gotta rescue her. So this is when they start a fight, and they actually do manage to beat Catra and Adora. Catra and Adora. That's the only name they can say together. No. Scorpia actually gets separated from them, and they do manage to capture Catra in the most hilarious fumbling way possible.
Yep.
And this is when just one of the funnest groups ever, which is just Catra, Bo, and Glimmer, with a bound Catra trying to be.
We do cut back to Adora and Swiftwind because Light Hope keeps glitching out and freezing, but she explains it's because one of the towers that Mara
destroyed.
Destroyed.
And damn Mara once again. That damn Mara.
That damned Mara. And if Adora goes and fixes it with Swiftwind, everything can be back to, and then she freezes. It's probably one of the funniest things I've ever seen with her, because her face is kind of normal, one eye is kind of down, and her lips are all the way over.
Oh yes, Picasso.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. I was like, whoa.
Oh god. But
and of course, even Adora's is like. yeah,
we're gonna
go.
Yeah, Adora doesn't really feel like training with Swiftwind, but she's just gonna find whatever.
Yeah, for some reason, ever since the bringing up of bring Swiftwind with you, she's always been hesitant.
Yeah, she's just like, really, I want to get my powers so I can, of course, once again, I gotta defeat Catra. Speaking of which, they have Catra wrapped up in some ropes and are just dragging her along. She's being a real shit to Bo and Glimmer.
She's being Catra.
Yeah, of course, just in the worst
and
possible
unlike
way.
Adora, these two don't know how to deal with her.
She's just being gross and annoying, just tripping her up.
Gross and annoying.
Do you remember she literally Glimmer's like pulling her on the rope, and she just like does her like licks Glimmer's arm just to freak her out. It's
just freaking her out. Stuff,
it's total like annoying sister.
Yeah,
like,
she's just being
vibes.
like ridiculously awful.
It's like. Yeah, like now you don't want to touch me because I'm nasty.
Yeah, pretty much.
Exactly. Bo tries to befriend her by being like, "Hey, we can help you. You're friends with Adora. You know her better than anybody. You guys should hang out." And she's just like, "Oh man, yeah, Bo, that sounds like a great idea." Shoves him off a cliff.
Shoves him off a cliff. Oh yeah, that's right. Because the famous last words. Oh, so Glimmer would do anything for you, right? Yeah, she. Off a cliff. The Glimmers are like, "What are you doing?" "Oh no, you're gonna have to teleport him." Well, maybe we can see how a cat falls. No, she's literally attached to me.
Yeah, she's like literally like pounced on top of Bo like while he's falling off the cliff, and it's like holding him down. Also, she has to teleport both of them.
Yeah, and it's just like
an insanely funny thing.
I mean, and all this time she's also mentioning, "Oh dear, it would be a shame, if Entrapta could deal with all of this torture."
They're saying like they keep saying like let Entrapta go. The whole point is that she keeps saying like, "Oh man, I've been really enjoying torturing Entrapta," and they're like, "No, we gotta rescue her separately. We gotta release her. You want to hold you hostage?" And then like a whole long sequence of them just being shitty done.
I still love the fact that Bo does not like this because they're the good guys. Yeah, good guys don't take hostages.
Glimmer is like so trying to like ready to kill Catra at every literally like ready to kill
at every
her.
turn. Yeah,
and but like Bo's like, "No, we're the good guys. We're the good campaign."
And then Bo,
we can't.
as usual, is a sweet, innocent.
Sweet innocent little cinnamon bun.
Yeah, being taken advantage of by like best and worst person
ever. He's a hot cocoa
ever.
Bun. Have you ever heard of those?
Oh,
no,
that sounds delicious.
They instead of cinnamon goop, it's got like
cocoa powder.
Cocoa, yeah.
Oh,
I find one of those. That sounds delicious.
And then you put marshmallow icing on top.
I gotta grab one of those on the way home, probably.
as Catra's being, how'd you call it, disgusting and shitty? She actually sleight of hands and like turns on her little beep beep boop thing. And speaking of the beep beep boop thing, Scorpia's just like, where is she? She got taken. It's my fault. We don't know what to do. And Lonnie's like, whoa, you need to kind of chill out,
okay,
dude. And all of a sudden it's just like. Beep, beep.
Also, funny gag where she's just like, where's Rogelio? And like Scorpion's like staring at her like, huh? And she's like, Rogelio. And she's like, what? Like the reptile guy with us. He's like, oh, that's his name?
Oh, wait, that's his name?
Yeah.
I never could understand that guy. And then
Scorpion's a great leader. She's a force captain.
She's the best. But after, she actually looks on the pad and is like, oh, we found her. Let's get her.
Yeah,
kind of
she literally picks up Rogelio and Lonnie and just like runs with them to go save her girl, Catra.
Yeah, I always forget the nickname she keeps getting. Her
Wildcat?
some kind of Wildcat. That's what it is. Her Wildcat. And meanwhile, we have Adora and Swiftwind at the place with all the destruction.
Yeah,
and
Swiftwind's just being silly and goofy, doing loop-de-loops.
Because that's what he does.
Of course.
Yeah, he's like, I'm carefree, and she's like, we need to focus on this.
Mm-hmm.
And it goes as well as anything would happen when no one's like, working together.
Yeah.
And at one point, it's even to the point where
they see all the floating pieces of the tower with a whole bunch of glyphs and like first one's language on it, just kind of floating around in the air. And they eventually manage to like get together, work together, and they manage to like start wrapping them all together, and they get the tower back together eventually. Mm-hmm. It's a very like nice, but it's just about like the two of them getting to.
Yeah. They have a bonding moment, and it's like, oh, power of friendship and everything.
Yeah.
And then we actually get to a point where Glimmer is still absolutely just like done with Catra's shit.
Yeah.
But then Scorpia and them find them. Like find these guys.
Yeah, and they actually have a standoff saying, release Entrapta and we'll give you Catra back. And then Catra's like, oh, is that how you think this is going to go? Literally says, Scorpia, open up a channel with Entrapta. Or open up with Kyle. Kyle, if you don't hear from me in 30 seconds, kill Entrapta. And hang up. And Kyle's like, what?
I love it because, it's like, oh no, you dastardly villain. Fine, we'll release you. And then Catra's like, oh yeah, by the way, turns on the thing. Hey, by the way, Kyle, if you actually were serious about that, stop it. Oh yeah, Kyle's not here right now. Yeah, literally sees him getting spun around. And Trap is like, yep, but I'm here. What's up?
And just then, Trap, we couldn't rescue. He's like, rescue me. I love working here. Like,
I love working here. Wait, so you joined the Horde? I guess? Like, it wasn't even a full-on yes. It was, well, I'm here. They have tech, and I like working on tech, so I guess?
Yeah, I guess I'm with them now. And they're just like, what the hell's going on? It's a great reveal.
Yep. And then, Glimmer tries to go for one more punch. Doesn't work. And then they just walk off all sad.
Yeah, they walk off. They're all beaten up and tired. And they go back to Bright... Why do people say Bright Hope? What is
Bright Moon.
What is Bright
Hope? Light Hope.
I know, but they made the same mistake last season, too.
Yeah.
Bright Moon.
You're literally getting those two mixed up.
They go into Bright Moon beat up. And then the door's like, hey, guys, I got my bond with Swiftfoot. And everything's doing great. How are you guys doing?
And they're like... Honey, we got a lot to talk about.
We got some bad news.
And that's where that episode ends.
Yeah, and that's where the episode ends. I don't have too much specific, but just like, I love Catra. She's such a shithead.
I know you like her. She's actually my third favorite.
You don't say.
Yeah, I know. She's the best. She's so mean and she's so awful. But also, you never can see and those three without Adora around. It's such a fun dynamic.
It really is. Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. Adora's a great character, but
Adora's wonderful. But she's so like a center focus point usually around both in the entire group.
Wow, it's like she's a plot device or something.
It's like she's the main character or whatever. But just seeing those two groups of people just
interacting without her there is very fun.
And just getting the full
they
Catra.
did not know how to handle her.
They don't understand how awful Catra is outside of just having to fight her occasionally, actually being with her. How consistently much of an asshole she is.
Bratty, very bratty.
God, I love her to death. She's the best.
You can call her Caddy.
For the longest time, I was... Cause, when I first introduced Catra in this episode, I did say everyone's favorite, and I was about to say Caddy individual, but I'm like, no, that's too easy. I can't. No, stop. And then you knew it. How dare you? So, what's the question for this episode?
Oh, that was it. Just talking about Catra, how much I love her without the other group around. I didn't have too much to talk about because, there's...
Yeah, I mean, it is true. With Glimmer and Bow, it's great not to have Adora with them. But yeah, with Catra, it's great not having Scorpia and Entrapta, even though Catra's number 3 on the list, but we can make exceptions.
Scorpia's fucking wonderful. Also, I was going to say the whole plot with... but you haven't followed up any more of the series, have you?
I literally stopped that.
Yeah, what do you think about the whole weird, Mara destroying the tower along with everything else?
I'm curious as to how that's going to go, because it sounds like they're building her up to be, bad, but in the end, you're going to find out, oh, she was actually good all along, kind of thing. But, I don't know. I'll find out next time. Well, either way, but yeah, yeah, I'm kind of curious as to how that's gonna go, but
what about Swiftwind? Everything Swiftwind's doing. Dude,
Swiftwind's great.
Oh God, I hate Swiftwind so much.
Well, you're allowed to be wrong every once in a while. But yeah, dude, Swiftwind's amazing. I mean, without him, the quad would only be a triangle.
And he's not the best friend quad until next episode.
We're gonna get there eventually.
But what did you guys think of the episode, Tara and Kaylee?
I also loved Catra being a brat. That's just...
Yeah.
I also love, the glimpses of Entrapta's usual shenanigans. It's always a good time.
It really is,
and then I also, just from an art direction standpoint, I loved the imagery of the floating bits of the tower, that zero gravity thing. Oh, that was beautiful. That was very well done. Just from a visual standpoint, as an artist and someone with training in actually, and I have an animation degree, so I was just like, oh, nice.
Yeah, beautiful set. That field was actually indeed, all of it was very beautiful. Kay, what do you think of the episode? Nice.
Yeah,
nice.
For those of you who can't hear by seeing, yeah, she's just a nod.
To be honest, all of season 2 was a fucking blur. So I remember a lot of season 1, 2, and 3 just smashed together.
Especially.
So I'm trying to separate everything out because I'm like, Okay, wait. What's that one episode? I don't think that's the episode that we're talking about.
With what Matt told me about how season 1 was like an actual season, and then 2 is 7 episodes, and 3 is 6 episodes.
Yeah,
I can understand how it can all get meshed together.
So that's why I'm trying to like.
Yeah,
because I know like this season. I like not to get ahead of as usual, but like this season is very like all over the place because I know they do like center on specific locations in the next couple of seasons, just like or specific events that are like affecting everything
then
around
I
the
suppose
season.
I should probably ask like, what episode is this? The same episode where they're seeing like the ghosts?
That's the next episode.
That's the next episode, actually.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that one.
Yeah. Same
why
year,
I'm
but
like,
for different reasons.
I'm like, wait.
Yeah, these
episodes
do have like a lot. Like, they feel the whole plotline that's about to happen with Entrapped for the rest of this season is like does mesh together throughout the entirety of it, because like. Oh, speaking of, that's one thing I wanted to ask you about, Ben. The reveal to the team that Entrapped was alive and with the Horde.
They took it exactly the way I thought they were going to. I'm not going to lie, because, at first it's like, oh, like, what did you expect? You were going to go in, like, be like, hey, everything was a misunderstanding, and it was just going to be like, haha, one episode, No. It's going to take a gradual time. As to how long, I wasn't entirely sure.
Yeah.
But I just, the moment it's just like, Entrapped is just like, yeah, I'm working with them now, I guess. And, them being upset. It's like, yeah, that was to be expected, because eventually they were going to find out. However, I did not think it was going to be as this, like, oh, hey, by the way, surprise, I'm working for them now, rather than actually, like, them going to the Horde and finding out she was with them kind of thing, which is what I was thinking originally. But no, this was great, because it did everything exactly what needed to be done, when it needed to be done, at a good pace.
Yeah, a very fun episode of the season. The next episode, though, is very...
I love this.
It's another, like, very relatively plot thin, but, like, very huge character development episode.
Right, and there's at least one huge plot point in this. But we'll get to that with Season 2, Episode 3, Signals.
We nailed it.
Boom. Ooh, that was a good one.
Yeah, I picked up on the mic.
We actually start off a little differently than what I was expecting. We start off with Hordak. Hordak. Sorry, stop it. We start off with Hordak, working on something.
How dare you say his name wrong? He's my second favorite. Okay?
Yeah.
He, compared to the only other thing I had with Hordak, which is, Masters of the Universe, like the remake TV show they did, like in the early 2Ks.
Yeah.
I like how they did him in this series, because he's actually a menace.
You haven't seen anything yet.
But yeah, we start off with him looking at something that he's working on, and then it fizzles, and he's upset.
That's a lie. Entrapped is second, and then Hordak's
third. See, everyone in the Horde's fucking great.
Entrapped is second. Yeah. Again, like I told Matt, you're allowed to be wrong every once in a while. Dude, Entrapped the number 1.
But yeah.
Scorpius number 2.
Double Trouble is number 1.
I don't know who that is!
Well, good for you, because I love them.
I was like, are they in season 2? I could just go off on Double Trouble. They're in season 3 or 4?
I don't fucking remember.
I know.
Okay, look.
Yeah, this whole series is blends together.
It has to be 3 because
I watched 3.
4.
I watched She-Ra just in one night, so everything.
I have to refrain myself too. I do the exact same thing. It's so like just want to watch it.
It's a blur, and everything just melted together. So I can't pick part. Like, I cannot do that. Everything just seems like it's just a giant movie.
I literally watched every season I watched literally in one sitting. As soon as the season came out, I just watched it immediately and was like, God damn, that was great.
All I ask is that you be careful with characters I don't know, because I get curious. I might want to.
You better not look up anything. Shut up.
Yeah, I want to now, because you are so intent that I'm going to like Double Trouble.
Do it.
That's going to pick up insanely on the record.
Sorry, headphone users. Anyway, back on topic here. Hordak tested a thing, and now he's upset.
Yeah, Imp's being a little shit as usual.
Well, yeah, but I don't even consider the Imp a character anymore.
It's pretty important.
How dare you?
Well, no, hear me out. Because we've learned from season 1, he's literally just a recorder.
Yeah.
That's all he is. Plays important parts, but that's literally all he is.
I want you to think, put a pin in the whole thing that he's a recorder. Put a pin in that.
Yeah.
For a reason. Just put a pin in it.
Well, why do I? You already did it for me.
Yeah.
Right,
Keep an eye on the pin. Keep an eye on Kaylee.
And then
keep an eye on Kaylee's pin.
Take a pen and put it in it.
Anyway,
The
back
pin's right
on
up here.
task.
Yeah, back on task.
Hordos.
Yes, Hordak was there.
We are in the Whispering Woods, and
yeah.
Bo's just like, "Hey,
Whisper, whisper.
Yeah, whisper.
But Bo's like, yeah, I remember.
They just told
the whole entrapment thing. What are we gonna do? I mean, she's really good with machines, and Glimmer's like, she made her choice. We gotta make do without her. And Bo's like, yeah, I can make things as one of his arrows like catches on fire.
Yeah.
and he's like, don't worry, I can do things, and like gets his little notepad thing out and it starts acting up.
Yeah, it's like glitching out. Like, what the heck is going on?
Why is it glitching? Don't worry, I can fix it.
Don't worry, we have to head to Alwyn. That's where they're going for this mission with Adora.
Yeah, that's right. Because
also they're going over about like how entrapped is with Adora, who just found out.
Right. Yes. And yes, they talk about Alwyn, which is supposed to be like where they get their supplies.
Yeah, the main breadbasket of the rebellion or whatever.
The main breadbasket.
Yeah.
Never actually heard that term.
Yeah, that's
a term, yeah.
That is
no, I'm not saying it's not. I just said I've never heard it before.
It's like breadwinner.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So breadbasket means like it's an area or like a place rather than a person.
It's like where all the food comes from.
It's like China's a breadbasket for America.
Well, yeah,
actually,
that's all you have to say.
It's somewhat vice versa.
Whatever.
This is our political podcast.
China is a breadbasket for America when it comes to
politics
imports.
with us.
I know we don't even have Ed here to do it like he loves doing every episode. We have with him.
I mean, fair.
What does he do?
We got he
goes on rants.
Movie garbage. His me and his other show. He always gets every chance he gets. It's great. But so we have the show too.
As all of that is happening, and they're going to Alwyn, we go back to
because no one's heard from them in a while.
Yeah, no one's heard from them. They're gonna just do a simple checkup on them, maybe get some supplies or whatever, and go back.
Yeah, but back in the evil campaign, and Jeff does like I need a weird like 6-sided hex drill.
Yes, the 6-sided hex. Yeah, I think it was like
hex drill or something like
that. But anyway, so she starts looking for it, and oh my god, I love her so much because she's literally flipping everything, having her robot like destroy a whole bunch of things just for this one tool, all because her little work desk is like wobbly.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like
that's an ADHD mood.
Have you ever tried to do anything on a wobbly desk?
It's impossible.
Yes, it's not pretty. It's not. But it's also funny because when you look at the thing, like the bolt.
Yeah.
It's like you need an Allen wrench.
Yeah,
that's the equivalent of what this thing is an Allen wrench.
But Scorpia and Catra don't know what she's talking about or where one is, and so they're just like, "What the hell? Shut up, leave us alone."
While they're doing,
I know where one is. It's in Hordak. I'll go see if it's in Hordak's lab. And they're like, "No, don't go in there."
Catra literally
tackles her to the
ground. Her and
this
is like, "Look, of all the places you go, that's not one. Now promise me you're not going to go there." And Entrapped is like, "Okay, I promise I won't go there." Yeah. Good. Scorpia, look after her. Cool. I'm gonna... Which way did she go?
Yeah, literally, like, turns around. She's already gone.
Kaylee, did you just erase on the wall?
Yeah, there's some marks on the wall, so I thought I could erase it.
There you go.
Fair
Okay.
enough.
That's
as that end, by the way, we forgot to mention... Catra's upset because she's doing paperwork. She's supposed to be the Force captain, and she's doing so much paperwork. Shadow Weaver never had to do this. Actually, these are... Yeah, Scorpia's these are her notes, so yeah, she probably did. But then we go back to the heroes because this game. It's
pretty much just this is 100%. This is 100% a fucking side mission.
It really is. Yeah. But this show likes to do their cuts. We go back to the heroes, and everything's like, Glimmer's like, don't worry, everything's great, everything's wonderful. Alwyn is. They look and it's like deserted.
Yeah,
like,
not a single person.
Very creepy.
Yeah, they wander around the town trying to look for clues as to what happened.
Pretty much.
Yeah, it's the haunted version of what's that weird version of the Lavender Town theme? It's like a weird ghosts, like a glitchy version of the game.
Yeah, there's like the Pokemon Black version of it, where it's supposed to. No, this is not. Okay, look,
the Creepypasta podcast.
Yeah, no more, none of that. Shame on
you.
This
is our Creepypasta podcast. Lavender Town. Is it haunted? Who knows?
But of course,
totally
as they're
literally
still,
is though.
And then Glimmer was like, "Oh yeah, this place is supposed to be haunted," and everyone's just like, "Oh, and Adora." Bless her adorable little heart.
Fucking ghosts, what are that?
No, she's just like,
Adora's the one
like that. This is that story Shadow Weaver about the ghost princess.
The ghost princess, telling a spooky story every year and getting
and they're just like, shut up, that's too scary. And then they go to another room, like, it's just like the headless princess. The other story that she told us, this is about a
and Bo's like, wow.
This is about the undead princess, and it's just like every time it
escalates.
Every time Shadow Weaver told her a million stories about ghost princesses.
To the point
why is every ghost story about a princess?
Exactly. Like Bo's just like, dude, you need to chill out with the whole princess thing. And even Adora's like, wow, you're right. Why am I only just now figuring this out?
Yeah, it's like we're Shadow Weaver had a theme or something. Who knows?
Is this what she wanted to do to all the princesses?
Yeah, exactly.
Speaking of Adora talking about things that she learned in the Horde, we go back to the Fright Zone where Entrapta is standing right in front of Hordak. I would say
Hordak.
I'm sorry.
Do I need to put a appearance with a pronunciation?
Look, he's right here and I still fuck it up.
Hordak.
It's right there.
You might need to click on his name.
I just might.
You might just need to click on his name and get the pronunciation up on the screen.
Yeah, literally.
Exactly,
It's just even better. It's like a dictionary. Hordak, pronounced Hordak. Noun. The main antagonist of She-Ra, Princess of Power.
Then you just gotta hit the pronunciation button so the computer will say Hordak.
Yeah, over your
exactly.
own.
Oh wait, no. It's Google, so it'd be Hordak.
Hordak.
Anyway, Hordak. Yeah, Hordak. Speaking of which, back on task. So Entrapta is thinking, okay,
she's digging through his stuff
I know,
and she comes across his machine.
At first she was having that dilemma. Okay, so this is the 63rd moral dilemma I've had. Do I go in even though I was told not to? Well, I'm not going to. Wait, I really need that thing, but I'm not supposed to. Goes in.
Yeah, exactly.
And finds it, but
I need to see my future boyfriend real quick.
Yeah, I know, right?
But she does find the six-sided whatever, but as Hordak, see I said it right this time, is getting upset because of that weird thing.
Yeah.
And he just gets upset, leaves the weird little imp recorder thing on his shoulder, And Entrapta is just like, okay, I got the thing I needed, and I really need to fix this right now.
Yeah, she goes over to his weird machine, starts fucking with it, and we don't see what happens until later. Do we come back to the ghost town again?
There's a lot of cuts.
Yeah, but it's just they just wander
back to
around.
Lavender Town.
Yeah, exactly. The music starts up again.
It's like it's like, oh my goodness, it's all spooky.
I think by now they finally see the weird ghosts everywhere.
Yeah, they see the weird ghosty things walking around.
Yeah,
and every once in a while, they were about to go into a building, and Swiftman's like, "Don't worry, I can't go into buildings." In the back of his mind, oh my goodness, I'm scared. Wait.
Also, we forgot to mention that while the pad is messing up, also Swiftwind is very uneasy and feeling weird, and so is Adora as well.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Swiftwind, because Swiftwind can feel magical presences and stuff, and he's just like, it feels weird. What do you mean weird? I don't know. It's just weird.
Yeah, something's up with this town.
Yeah, so they start seeing the ghosts. And I think this is also when, Bo figures out, hey, something's up about these ghosts.
They're kind of weird.
Yeah, and then I think this is when we cut back to actually Catra and Scorpia, because Scorpia's like, Catra's like, okay, 3rd Battalion, go and attack.
Yeah, it's literally, what is it? It's one of those missions where, the teams, the army's screwing up because they need this. Okay, well then get that. Well, we can't get that because we need this. Okay, we'll get that. We can't get armor because we don't have the materials, and we need the materials to help them do the mission, so it's just like a whole long fetch quest of things they need to do. And she's like, fuck this, I'm gonna go talk to Shadow Weaver.
Right. And as that's happening, we see...
Fuck that, I'm gonna go talk to Shadow Weaver.
Yeah, pretty much.
So then I can get offended when she tells me to fuck off.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, right. And then we see Hordak returning to the spot that he left.
You said his name right again.
Yeah.
Now that you pointed it out, I'm gonna fuck it up. And we just see Entrapta doing her thing.
Yeah, and he's like, what are you doing? And
he's just upset.
He's like, what are you? And he's just like, oh, don't worry, I'll be out of here.
Don't worry, your cords were uninsulated, but I fixed that, so don't worry.
She's like,
don't worry, future husband, I'm fixing everything for you.
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
You don't know what future husband means? Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I'm only on season 2. Remember?
Well, I mean, really, this episode alone is like him being this is Chapter Girl. What is up with her?
Here's the thing.
This Chapter Girl can sit on my knee the whole time and tell me things.
You mean on the side where the imp stands, not on his lap?
You mean on his knee?
It wasn't on his knee.
It practically was on his knee.
Anyway, stop spoiling shit.
Hey, Kaylee, now you're gonna dating.
Anyway, it did exactly how I thought was gonna happen. Entrapta messes with his shit. Him, get out of here. Oh, don't worry. Him being like, And then, as this is happening, he's like, wow, it actually works. And she's like, well, yeah, because I fixed it.
Yeah.
And she's like, but what is this
I don't know what this thing is. It's
and
like,
your girlfriend material.
You're from this backwater planet. You wouldn't even know what portal technology is. And she's like, we're thinking with portals now?
Yeah, literally.
And she's like, wait, really? And
go
he's
on.
like,
and he's just like, well, I mean, I'm not from this planet. There are other planets. She's like, there are other planets. She's like,
it literally goes to the point where he's just like,
yeah.
yes, my left hand sit on the side of the chair that is not my lap.
With your legs dangling over on the lap.
Which is practically sitting on his knee.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway,
so future girlfriend, let me tell you about this shit.
Man, spoilers without spoiling.
That's not a spoiler. They're really all over each other.
Anyway,
look here. I even had a feeling that the two of them were going to get together.
Oh, people are already going off.
It.
People are shipping them from second one.
Like
this whole episode.
It was like
this episode.
Wait a minute.
That'll be the ending discussion about like their weird relationship.
Look.
Ben, don't worry. It's not a spoiler.
I'm waiting.
It's just an observation from when I was actually watching the episode, just because of how quickly he became attached to her, which is weird since he's not attached to Shadow Weaver, he's not attached to Catra, he's not attached to anybody, not even his little imp that he has. But he becomes attached to this one random girl that seems to know about technology, who's willing to listen to him.
And understands him.
And understands just the weird quirks that he has. So immediately he's like, okay, well, I now have this bond with this girl. I can now talk to her, and she's going to understand what I'm talking about. And she also is just telling me all this stuff that is uplifting me about how there's no such thing as failures, that there's always options to keep going.
Yeah.
Disclaimer. Hordak is not a bad guy. He's just misunderstood.
No, he is a bad guy. But
that was a joke.
Oh no, absolutely. But it is like just like I'm gonna say in the next couple of episodes where we see like Scorpia just gushing over Castrol. You can see like there's really like everything in the show, very super heavy shippiness between them immediately. You can tell from the fandom was going to go crazy over these two from second one. But not spoilers, not confirming anything that's going to happen because like they said, there's fucking 3 more seasons of insane stuff to happen.
I know. But,
so don't worry about spoilers, Ben. It's not a spoiler.
Speaking of
because we anyway wrap up this episode.
Back in Alwyn, Bo was like, these are acting weird. Oh look, they actually are like holograms.
Yeah, wait a minute, they are holograms. And
he's like, yeah, what? They are holograms.
And he finally notices the weird vines and everything are exactly like how they were around the first one's ruin that they found. And they finally say, oh, okay, that's what's going on here.
Because I remember, Adora was afraid of one of the ghosts, actually uses the sword and hits down, and actually, hits one of those weird little activation port whatevers.
Yep.
And then it's like, oh, and then they actually turn it off completely.
Yeah, they just stop. They see that they're like, wait, these are first ones? I thought they were like huge mythological beings, just like regular people. And they're just like you see the little girl doing a dance and like some like people just going around shopping. It's like,
they're just waving.
Yeah, they're not ghosts, they're not scary, and they're not like superpowered.
But wait a minute, holograms don't move around on their own. It's like, this is probably like one giant recorded message kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then
what's up with that?
Yeah, was that how this ends? Or
that's pretty much, the episode pretty much wraps up with them saying like, oh, they activate some kind of signal somewhere and they don't know what it is.
Right, yeah.
And then the episode kind of wraps up. But like, this episode, the good campaign's plot was very like silly
minuscule.
One-off. Yeah, very silly one-off, like funny side mission. Once again, the Horde just being the fucking killer main characters of the show. Like everything about them is fucking fantastic. And Trapta actually like bonding with somebody outside of I remember the first season, I'll keep framing everything, when Entrapta was trying to explain to Scorpia and Catra what anything she was doing, she always dumbed it down comedically because they were so stupid compared to her. And it was just such a fun dynamic. That seeing her actually talk to another technologically important person who is now revealed to be some kind of alien. It's like, what the fuck is going on?
How could you not figure out he was alien.
That right there. Actually,
he's not from here. Yeah, like they find
it's like really, you're not from here. What tipped you off, genius?
Yeah, he's a weird freak and has all this weird technology.
But then again, there is a girl walking around with scorpion claws, so I can see why they thought he was part of that world too.
Okay, you know what? That is a fair assessment. But yeah, but see, it's even funnier because I just love, because you're right, because with Hordak, it's just like, with everyone else, he has to dumb it down, like, even calling them all backwater kind of people.
Early on, when he's, like, first messing with his machine, and we don't know what it is yet, he says, God, this stupid backwater planet. This
pretty much. And then
Trapta
shows up, and he's just like, I can actually talk to you.
Yeah, of course.
I don't make connections.
And the shippers go wild.
I don't make connections as quickly as others, especially when I'm watching a series. That's why I did not notice any of that shit.
It's just because I like people watching.
Yeah, exactly. And also, shipping is always fun, especially for a show like this. Really, I mean, like, you didn't get anything from how, like, insane Scorpia is around Catra the entire first season.
Dude, first off, from the moment Scorpia looks at Catra and just goes, Kitty.
Yeah.
You knew she was hardcore for her.
I mean, it kind of gets to later, but
that's we'll go off for season, not season 3 specifically. Yeah. I will go off for like a half an hour about that goes down.
But yeah, so like everything Kaylee pointed out, all joking aside, I can see where I can see where you're coming from.
People are going insane during season 2 for them.
For those two specifically, I can see that.
Ship.
Yeah, I know, a new one. Oh my god,
ship has sailed.
Main villain's actually gonna have a girl?
Yeah, but also I'm gonna go for a Goyle. For this episode, I was gonna say Halloween specials. Because I think this episode was just like, framed like a weird, like goofy, spooky episode.
This was supposed to be like,
a spooky episode.
Spookums kind of thing.
Do you any particular Halloween special for any series? Because like I know for me, the Family Matters one was always insanely like fun. That were evil puppets.
Specifically Halloween.
Evil puppet Urkel.
You said, huh?
Yeah, Halloween episodes.
See, I'm not really.
Or your favorite creepypasta, I guess, because we were talking about Lavender Town earlier.
There are some good creepypastas out there.
I see. Unfortunately, I've been it's gotten to the point with a few of my friends, Corey being one of them.
Yeah.
Where it's so overplayed, where every time I just hear creepypasta, it's just ugh. When it comes to spooky episodes, though,
big spooks.
You might want to go to someone else for this. I have to actually think about this.
All right, Tara, Kaylee, you guys have special Halloween episodes you liked of anything?
What's Gravity Falls? They had an episode called Summerween, and I love how they forced Halloween into summer just so they could have a Halloween episode.
Yeah, because the show's supposed to be over summer.
Alex Hirsch, you madman, you absolute buffoon!
Yeah,
I love you.
I actually forgot about that one. That's a really good one too.
Alex Hirsch is amazing.
Yes. What about you, Kaylee? Like Halloween episode, Spookums episode.
Yeah,
I don't watch a lot of TV.
We're talking about Five Nights at Freddy's earlier.
I mean,
that's a horror thing.
That's a horror
game.
Well, they had like the jack-o'-lantern inspired ones.
Those were the.
They didn't have a story though. They just kind of existed.
They were remake skins of Five Nights at Freddy's 4.
Oh yeah, you're talking about like the Halloween. The Halloween add-on. Yeah.
I like the glow though.
Yeah, I don't watch that much TV, so I don't watch that much TV, so I can't really say anything. The most I can say is that I just watch a lot of YouTubers play video games.
Absolutely. Well, you've been growing up like old 90s shows like...
Kaylee does like to watch, what's the name of the girl who puts on makeup while telling you true crime stories? Bailey.
Nice.
Oh yeah, I've heard about her.
Bailey.
You think of one? Yeah, you've had all the time in the world, Ben.
All the time in the world, my ass. I honestly can't think of one because I've never actually had to think about this. So, I would say.
Well, fine, let's go over favorite horror movie antagonists or whatever, because we were talking about.
If we're gonna go straight up like favorite horror movie of all time
why not?
For me,
sure.
It's that. If we're gonna do that, it's Pumpkinhead. First
really?
off, yeah. I love the concept. I love the creature design.
Not Lance Reddick. What's his name? The actor?
I don't remember.
Good.
But yeah, I love the creature design.
Lance Henriksen.
Probably. I don't remember. All I know is that I remember really getting into it because yes, it was slow at the start. The concept of, the creature and everything was great. The lore behind it, as well as the fact that just the design itself and practical effects too was fantastic. But if I had to go to one that you normies would know better,
really,
it would be Hellraiser.
The Hellraiser series. Have you
The
seen
first
all
one
movies?
particularly. By the way, I saw that look, Tara. That was the him specifically. That's why I looked at him, not you.
How am I normie?
I was gonna say one. I have Pumpkinhead sitting over there.
Yeah, well, like I said, that's why I looked at.
Pumpkinhead's not even esoteric. Everyone knows Pumpkinhead.
Well, maybe not everyone, but this group definitely.
Oh yeah, our group definitely.
Yeah.
But I'd have to go with Hellraiser, the first one specifically, because it could have been its own standalone kind of thing, and it kind of like broke bounds for its time.
It was a very cool movie,
and it was very good. It's always weird to say this, but it was body horror, but it was tasteful. Not like the Saw movies, where it was just like
those movies
torture
are fucking
porn.
wonderful. How dare you? That's literally one of my favorite franchises, the Saw movies. And also, unlike the Pinhead movies, there's not like five or six of them that are literally like scripts for other movies that were just changed last second and added Pinhead in them.
Like I said, hey,
those are hilarious.
That's why I said the first one specifically.
The second one I say is pretty.
Yeah, the first and the second one are the better ones, obviously, because they go together. And
not
then
the one where he goes into space.
The third one is supposed to be like the wrap up to the first two. It just wasn't the
with
same.
that CD head guy and all that dumb
stuff. It was just it kind of reminded me of watching Berserk, really.
Well, speaking of Berserk, there's a little Berserk reference in the next episode of She-Ra.
Oh, is there?
Yeah.
Like, no, seriously, is there?
Oh yeah.
No, like seriously.
No, like I just yeah.
I've still never seen that one, Berserk.
Hey, Bob, listen to our we have a 2.5 hour episode of this show
special, actually.
Yeah, with Chris just going over the first 3 movies. You'd be probably better.
Okay, well, I have to give Tara the very, very abridged story about this. The only reason why Chris was on that episode was because he looked at me and said, "Hey, you know what anime I want to watch? Berserk." me and some guy who was working at Cheats, because this was like years ago. We both literally look at him at the same time and just.
No.
But he said he wanted it for the experience because we all know how Lovecraft stories turn out like this.
I just want to know. I'm curious.
If you want to see him getting a slight bit of an existential breakdown because of this anime series, go and watch that episode.
Listen to another episode of Action Toon Bros. If you're already here listening to Action Toon Bros now, just scroll back a little bit in the queue and just listen to that one.
I would feel sorry for him. But he literally wanted it, and we gave it to him.
I would feel sorry, but I don't.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, if it were any other reason, I would have felt sorry. But he was the one who stoked that flame. I'm like, okay, fine.
In some ways, Chris is bad.
in some ways, he's getting better at that.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
But yes, he still is like the most innocent, air quotes, of us.
Yeah. Speaking of innocent, we have a very fun episode next.
Yes. Another one of my favorite ones.
Absolutely.
I didn't get to mention that one of my favorite horror things is 28 Days Later, because I love the focus on time in reference to zombies and how much time you have and how quickly it takes over, and it was really well shot. And I took an entire class on the literature and film history and evolution of the zombie.
Yeah, I was going to say, it was a very good, interesting twist on the zombie.
I love that. Whenever I think of 28 Days Later, I think of that scene where they just, I forgot the actor's name, he's a huge actor, but when it's the blood from the
It
raptors.
gets in his eye
right in his eye.
He's like,
that's like the most iconic thing of that movie. That sticks out in my brain every time I think about
and
that
also
series.
the filmmakers trusted the audience to be paying attention enough that they'd have quiet things going on in the background that were still horrifying. They didn't have to have swells of music. They didn't have to have dramatic pans and zooms the way other films did. They trusted that you would pay attention enough that you would find it. And even if you didn't, well, you learn later.
Yeah, it did have a very good atmosphere to it.
Yes.
Yeah, very low budget.
And Kaylee is, I usually associate Kaylee with everything Chucky.
I love Chucky.
Oh, those movie series. Have you seen the series yet?
I have.
I want to see it.
I've seen all of it.
No, I mean the TV show.
It has a TV show?
Yeah,
with actual...
Jesus Christ.
the original storyline, too. There you go.
Yeah.
Well, I will have to watch that because I've seen all
hear
the
great
movies.
things about it, yeah.
I've seen all the movies. I'm
She wants to
basically
dress
a
up as
Chucky
Chucky.
enthusiast because, I definitely don't have red hair and blue eyes.
No,
I'm
not at
pale
all.
as shit. And
You
I'm
dye
pale
your
as
hair.
shit.
And
We all know
you're round shaped like a
And I'm
doll.
round shaped like a
Yeah.
doll. But I would actually say that one of my other favorite horror, I'm not even sure if it's considered horror, but I love Crimson Peak.
I would call it that, yes. Crimson Peak was a
Just
really good
because-
one.
Just
That's the only
because
Grimmels I've
of
seen that I
the...
have not seen.
You haven't
seen
we
Seriously?
own it on DVD.
Okay, we own it, but Crimson Peak is so beautiful, and not just the fashion designs, but also the set designs and the creatures, because it's...
I mean, it's Del Toro.
Yeah,
he's
it is
the
beautiful
ghosts
Del Toro.
designer.
Are
Yeah.
beautiful, because they're not like...
Our Lord and Savior.
Our Lord and
Del Toro
Savior,
is the best.
Del Toro. He basically designed all these ghosts to not even look pretty. Like, you see in other ghosts, sometimes you see scary ghosts, sometimes you see, like, humanoid ghosts. These guys are just like, hey,
Weird.
so I'm going to be a very distorted, almost Scream-like... I mean, Scream as in
Ghostface
Yeah.
mask.
the painting.
Oh, the
painting,
Scream. Yeah,
The
the Scream.
painting.
Yeah.
Like, very Scream-esque looking, gross...
Dripping red
dripping
clay.
red clay because red clay comes into it if you haven't seen Crimson Peak. And spoiler alert,
I'll see
red
it.
clay
Yep,
has
yeah.
Crimson Peak.
Yep.
But like the only two pretty ghosts are at the very end. Pretty. I guess. But
Pretty.
like even the girl's main this is spoiler alert again. But
Spoilers.
yeah, so the main girl, her mother died at a very young age. But even the mother's ghost wasn't pretty, even though she just died.
Yeah, it was like all distorted and all that stuff.
It was very skeletal, very like
And also, that's like the first scene in the movie.
Yeah,
It's not
It really is, yeah.
black clad and like the mourning veil and everything. And she's still just creepy. She's very skeletal, her teeth are very protruding, she has protruding like cheekbones, hollowed out eye holes. Like, they're not pretty ghosts. They're not like Haunted Mansion ghosts. They're not like Harry Potter ghosts.
Yeah,
These guys are just on a whole other level of ghosts.
I love Guillermo del Toro's everything he does. It's
Yeah.
fantastic and awesome.
But
yeah.
like the fashion for it all, sorry, and the color symbolism behind each character,
Oh,
because each
man.
character wears a color associated with like the main like trait of their personality, and you see how it changes as it goes on into like the film,
Yeah.
and like just the backstory and all this other stuff is great. I love it,
I was gonna say we
and
could
the music. Oh.
we could literally go on for hours upon hours about Del Toro and his work.
Yeah, I was about to.
man.
Yeah,
He is
yeah.
amazing.
Kaylee got me a book about like his works and from his like, and some of it has like bits from his point of view. For all one word, lowercase, Northeast Ohio Weddings magazine on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. That's the only plug I have for now. I keep saying I want to produce my own fiction podcast, specifically about Mari's family history.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, that's right.
Writing
You
is
did say
fun.
something about that.
Yeah, I do want to maybe do I guess I don't want to get into my plugs yet, but I do want to maybe do something with the characters in our world of Indignia. Maybe just having you guys record 15, 20-minute bits about their backstory and stuff, and just posting that in a special side thing about Indignia.
Ooh, that'd be fun.
That would be fun.
That might be.
Yo, Kay, what's up?
Wait, what are your shameless
Plugs.
plugs? None. Yay! Hey, Kaylee.
Yeah.
The plugless one's over here.
I mean, I draw art, but I don't post it because I find social media to be kind of tiring.
Yeah.
And a drag on humanity.
Well, it's not even like it's not even
exhausting.
that. It's more of just I don't want to have to add 15 hashtags at the end of my post and then keep reblogging it like 3 times a day just for people to see my stuff.
Yeah.
So if I post it, I want to post it once and then be done with it.
And you also don't want to like have to write 6 paragraphs of commentary.
No,
every
I
single
don't.
time.
I just want to post my stuff and be done with it. But because I can't do that, I have nothing. So all I do is scroll Pinterest and make OC boards,
Nice.
Fair enough.
which I have 3 of right now.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
I'll get her to record them, guys.
Hey,
Don't
Matt.
worry. We'll record something for them.
Hey, Matt.
Yep.
Here's your giant ass list. All
gee,
of the plugs.
I don't
Go.
know if Matthew Lewis Podcast on YouTube, Matthew Lewis Podcast on Twitter, Matthew Lewis Podcast on Patreon, Matthew Lewis Podcast on Twitch, Matthew Lewis Podcast or at gmail.com for the email if you want to email me shit. Read and review my goddamn book, The Forgotten Minotaur King, available on Amazon. Also listen to the Forgotten Minotaur King podcast, available on YouTube. And
I'm one of your top listeners.
yeah, hell yeah. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Action Toon Bros, you're already listening to it. Go listen to our back episodes. I need the fucking reviews on iTunes and shit. Movie Garbage, check it out. Me and Ed talk about awful movies. I pick interesting ones. I pick some interesting movies, and he picks the fucking worst shit I've ever seen in my life.
Except for that one time we watched the best movie ever. Remember?
What, Avatar: The Last Airbender?
Yeah, the Last Airbender movie, because Chris said it was good on its own merits.
Oh, well, we're gonna have everybody out for another episode soon in the future. We still have that projected Injustice movie episode, which is supposed to be fucking awful.
Yeah.
We gotta watch that.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, that's all them plugs. Check out my stuff.
Hey,
Jeez, not the
speaking of the book,
I know, right?
speaking of the Forgotten Minotaur King book, is there an audiobook going to be coming out?
There's a guy, I literally just made fun of you. I made fun of Ben about this literally not too long ago. There's literally a free version of the podcast that's free.
It's having read both. It's free.
Hey,
it's literally the
but
same
here's
thing.
the thing. I'm not everyone else.
Yeah, it's free. Go listen to the... I pimped out the podcast. Also coming soon, Tales of Indignia, the follow-up series a couple of years later in the same universe. Tales of Indignia, Perna and Mars. Check it out soon. Alright, that's it for my plugs. We're going to get season 3 wrapped up soon.
Yeah. Speaking of which, we got to wrap this one up because we're hitting 3 hours.
We can waste next 3.5 minutes to fucking get this 3 hours long, but now I'm going to cut it in half anyway. Alright, guys. Well, you know our sign-off thing, just to really fuck with everybody. I'm going to make it just short of 3 hours to make everyone angry and uncomfortable.
Yep. So after 3 hours later, after talking about a whole bunch of She-Ra, from us to you, keep it sleazy.